very matching.
I know.
Like Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Whenever we're rich someday, I don't know if it's made its way to Instagram, but
The color theory.
Because sometimes I'm like, is that real or not? But like, also I think chat can do it. Like, I think if we send a picture of ourselves, chat can.
But I also
tell
feel like
us
we
our
already know
colors.
what our colors are.
Come here, it's time to film.
Don't you feel like you already know what your colors are? That's why we wear the same colors. all the
Yeah, I
time.
mean, I feel like we have a really good intuition about it, but I would be curious to see like what they would say. Time to film. Don't make mom yell.
I mean, we never
please.
wear yellow.
Yeah, except when you wore that Chiefs shirt, that actually like the yellow and red really looked good on
It
you.
would probably look good on you too.
I'm not a red yellow gal.
I didn't think I was either until I put it on.
As you can see, we're Mary-Kate and Ashley today. We had 3 margaritas and then decided we were gonna film, and Felicia had this top in 2 colors. Welcome to We Weren't Crazy.
Welcome to We Weren't Crazy. We kind of have a lot to talk about, but also
Can we open? I need that first. Like, let's open it up.
I'm trying. Do you want to try and open it this time?
We're breaking the rules.
We got a new
Happy Sunday.
champagne, $4 more because we're ballin'.
Whoa!
Why do I? It's like survival. I didn't even mean to do that. I didn't mean to like hold it.
You did that last night too.
I know.
Your tanner is like in
I
your
know. I
finger.
said
And I didn't even put any on, so I'm just like totally different color.
my hands are so pale. It's just that one that looks like a little shit stain. Remember that one time I sharted? We also still need an ice bucket. We're saving up for that.
Yeah.
Maybe we can use Afterpay on Amazon for that. I'd use Afterpay for toilet paper. And what did I get in that order? I got toilet paper, face razors, supplements.
Do I have enough lips on?
Mhm.
I feel like I didn't put lip liner on.
No, but that
It's like I
gloss
have
made
no
your lip.
I need more Botox, and I need lip filler touched up, like really bad.
No, you don't. Your
Yes,
lips look
I do.
perfect.
I haven't had them done in over a year,
You look great.
and I want Botox here because I look like Grumpy Cat.
Same.
No, you don't.
Did you not watch the episode that we're about
Well,
to
yeah.
air?
Whenever you were like perfectly going.
But that was just my natural face.
Cheers.
Cheers. So we kind of had a breakthrough.
Over margaritas, which is our
Yeah, about a few things. So the episode previous to this that we filmed was her trying to convert me into Taylor Swift. We started talking about it because I was really, really trying hard. And the first time that we filmed, I was like into it and like, yeah. And then last night when we filmed, my brain was trying to be in it, but I just couldn't for whatever reason. And then that caused us to go down this rabbit hole of, first of all, communication. You could tell I wasn't in it, but
yeah.
I thought I was in it.
I had said from the beginning, I can tell we're not vibing. In your mind, you were like, but I'm here and I'm trying.
Right.
And you were. It's not that you weren't trying, but it's that we feed off each other's energy so much.
Yeah.
The reality is, in our friendship, there's never a moment in any conversation that we are not just bouncing off of each other. We can read the vibe. We never have to communicate about it. We just
we
do.
don't, no.
So it just felt very unnatural in the sense of like, in a real life situation, if we weren't filming and if you were like super into talking about Taylor Swift in one moment, and then I could tell you weren't there, I would just switch the topic and I wouldn't talk. It wouldn't hurt my feelings.
Right.
Because I would just follow your energy. I kept saying, this isn't the vibe. You wanted to try as hard as you could, which you were.
Right.
But also the reality is like, even if you're trying, like I can read you like a book.
Yeah.
So you can just see us in that whole episode. Even watching it back last night was like watching weird versions of ourselves we were still like connected, but in a way, it wasn't real. Whenever we were at Margaritas, you said like, well, I just didn't want to hurt your feelings because I know it means so much to you. At the end of the day, like, yeah, it means so much to me. But I mean, you compared it to the religion thing, which is like kind of a good example. It doesn't matter how much you tell me about Jesus and about religion and whatever. I'm never going to resonate with that the same way.
Right.
I think that there is a different point of Taylor Swift. Parts of your story would really relate, and some of her songs would really relate. We started listening to Reputation when we got ready, and she did actually like those songs.
And that's where it kind of came into a full circle moment was I was trying to process like, why can't I get into this?
Yeah.
Because if you care about it so much, I should care about it too.
Yeah.
And I was trying and I just couldn't get into it. And then that's where we kind of went down a rabbit hole of talking about OCD tendencies and how when I send you a song, I'm sending you a song because I'm so hype about it.
Yeah.
And I expect you to listen to it or just, I'm like, they've got to listen to it. It's so good. Then when you have sent me songs,
I don't send them anymore.
No, yeah.
And we had this breakthrough because I stopped sending you songs probably like 7 or 8 years ago because.
Was it that long ago?
You still had Pandora.
Oh.
Because I remember just finally getting to a point where I would send her a song.
You
still pay for it?
I don't know. I don't know if I was.
We need to check all of your subscriptions. Yeah. I would send you songs and then you wouldn't listen to them. And then like 3 months later, she would be like, oh my God, listen to this song. And I'm like, yep. So I just finally was like, you know what? She has to find it on her own time. Like you're going to find it whenever it meets you, you're going to find it. I never really took it personal. You still send songs to me. I don't listen to them when you send them because I feel the same way. It's what we like uncovered in this. There's some sort of like emotional control and OCD regulation that comes from what we let in.
Yep.
One of my also best friends, April, will send me a podcast or she's told me like, you have to watch Moana. It's going to change your life. It's like about her grandma talking to her through the ocean.
Sex to that Moana song. The movie it was playing. It was the first time I'd ever seen it in the shack. And
did you ever actually watch the movie?
I
haven't watched it. I know that if she sends me something.
I think that was the first time we had sex. Was the Moana? Yeah.
In the shack.
Yeah.
I loved the shack. Someday.
It would make you sad if you saw it now, though. Because during one of the storms, a tree fell into it, and like there's a huge hole.
Oh, I like it to live in my brain.
And the bathroom ceiling fell down.
Oh, God. It was a special place. But you know me, and she knows me. So I know that if you're sending me something or if you want me to watch something, I trust that it will impact me.
Right.
But I literally can't watch Moana because she wants me to watch Moana. And she told me, it was so funny. And this is like a full circle moment of, there's a fucking gnat. Kill it.
I literally was just going to say the same. Also, we heard a ghost last night, in case anybody is wondering.
Not kidding.
Like,
so we're sitting on the couch.
Hi.
And also, I want to say some fun fact lore about where I live. So I learned.
Do I know this?
Yeah. A few years after I moved here, I learned that there is a protected slave graveyard in my community. Whenever the tornado went through in Nashville, the 2020 tornado, it went directly past my house. I was in the bathroom and legitimately thought I was going to die. I don't think I've ever been through a more traumatizing moment than that because when I've been in near-death experiences before, it's like my brain blacks out and I don't remember it.
I literally slept through it.
Well, you were in Franklin.
I know, but still, the alarms are probably going off on people's phones.
Well, that's the problem is that the alarm system failed. We didn't get an alarm until after it happened.
Oh, damn. Like, I kind of wish I had been in that experience.
The girl that lived with me in Morgan, she had moved in 2 days prior. And she had told me that night, or maybe it was the night before when we were getting to know each other, how horrified she was of tornadoes. And I was like, I'm from the Midwest. You don't have to worry.
Right.
We were in the bathroom with the dogs and we looked at each other and we both, it was like this human moment, truly one of the most human moments I've ever had, where we just looked at each other and she held on to Daisy and I held on to Kobe and Maya. And we were just we accepted that we were going to die. And I kept saying, keep us safe, Terry, keep us safe, Terry. And she didn't know anything about me. So afterwards, she was like, I thought maybe you were Catholic and that was a god or something. And I was like, no, it's my stepdad. But then when I walked outside, my fence had gotten sucked up out of the ground. The trees were twisted and every single thing that was on the patio, which is an open patio, everything had not moved. I had wine glasses. I had a bowl with a fork.
That's wild.
I have a video of it, and there's a picture of Terry out there. So despite all of that happening, not one thing was disturbed on the patio, even down to my wine glass. And that's why. And it was literally like a bubble, like a bubble came over my house and protected us. How the fuck? My yard is not that big. How did my fence get sucked up out of the ground and a wine glass, multiple wine glasses.
Well, and you have those
didn't
curtains
even
and
move.
everything.
And at that time, they were still tied, you know?
Yeah.
There was nothing, like not one thing fucking budged.
That's
So
wild.
then
I
after,
don't know if you ever told me that.
yeah. So then Megsar came over at one point, and it was after the tornado. And I was telling her how I felt like Terry had protected me, whatever. She, for some reason, called her boyfriend, and he was like, yeah, I helped make the roads in the subdivision. And he was like, you know, there's a slave graveyard there, right? I tried to stay late one night, and somebody came and was like, hey man, like you probably want to like get out of here. So Meg and I, and this is why also I'm so sad that she's disappeared from the world, because we could have some really fascinating podcasts with her. She was like, we need to like let them know they're like welcome here. What if they helped Terry? What if he like rallied them to protect you? So we wrote letters to them, and we walked up into the like where the graveyard is.
Where is it?
It's up on that hill up there. And we walked up there, and you could feel the energy. And the tornado went directly over the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
Like the tree at the top had been completely twisted and was like hanging, like almost like it was like literally twisted by a hand.
Upside down, yeah.
And
wow.
So they were obviously upset. They had been disturbed. And we went up there, and it was like all of the trees just stopped moving. And we read our letters to them. We didn't take our phones out because we both knew, we just had this feeling like we cannot take our phones out. So we sat there,
sacred.
We read the letters to them. We put the letters into a bottle. Like we just like did this. We put them into a bottle, and then we were like, you're welcome here. You are safe here. And we like threw it into the woods. And then we started to walk back, and there's one street light. And Meg looked up at it. It started blinking, and she like toppled over and started like crying. And she was like, "Oh my God, they're like with us."
Oh my God.
Like she could really feel that energy. Like there was no way you could have faked it.
Right.
And for the longest time, it was probably like 6 months after the tornado. Every time I would look at that light at night, it would blink. And it was the one that was right by it.
It was almost like a thank you.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like last night whenever we heard the clink, that's why I was like, you need to talk to them and say, because they're like very nice to me, and they protect me and keep me safe. I think that if I was mean to them, then they wouldn't.
I didn't know
But that's what I'm saying. I think last night that literally was one of them. So we're sitting on the couch. Felicia's cup is just like sitting over here. We're like sitting next to each other watching TV. We hear, literally, it's like this.
Yeah. And then we were both silent.
And I heard it, but I didn't know if you heard it. So I watched you, and your eyes went. And then I waited for a second. You looked back like, I'm not going to say anything. And I was like, did you just hear a clink?
Because we had eaten a weed gummy. So I was like, am I really high right now? But then whenever you said, did you hear that? And I was like, oh my God, I'm not the only one that heard it. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I think that's the first encounter I've ever had with like a real spiritual ghost, really, if you think about it. And I've always
every other sign has been very in the form of something like grandma on the
tangible,
bird.
yeah. But then part of me has always also thought that like if there's something protecting me from that realm, because I am very spiritual. I feel I can, and so are you. I can sense things, I can feel things beyond myself, but I've never heard or seen. So almost.
Well, I also feel like you're a lot more open to it now that you've had kind of to work through the religious part of it.
I've always been open to it.
But I just think you're in your most open phase. Pay like different attention.
Right.
Because you've always been spiritual and open up until recently. I don't think that you fully allowed yourself.
I did. I 1,000%.
I just remember you struggling whenever I said my grandma's like energy and she's sending me signs and stuff. I remember you struggling with that against religion.
I think where that struggle came from was, I guess, for Christians. You know this. I've gone back and forth. I know what's true now for myself. But as Christians, you're trained to think, which is so wild because the Bible says angels and demons are all around us.
Right.
But we've been trained to think that any spirit that we feel, if it's not Jesus, that it's bad. Yeah. So that's kind of where my brain went to. I was like, she feels something and she's giving credit to her grandma when Christians believe. You get what I'm saying?
I think you've always been open to other spiritual energy, but when there's a shift where you don't question it anymore, kind of like where both of these sides of you have met at the perfect
Like the
time.
logic brain and the heart.
Because now you feel very, very safe and comfortable and confident in like your relationship with Jesus and your Christianity. And you have also, just as of recently, kind of opened your mind to the universe, even though you
broke out of the box.
You've always had that in you to where you knew it. So that's why I'm wondering if they're like really leaning into it and like sending us signs. Like they literally cheersed us last night.
Literally.
I don't have one of those Nest camera things, and I think it's really weird. Just like have cameras and record in their houses all the time. But whenever you're here, I wish I did, because we would have the best footage.
Truman Show meets Big Brother.
Literally.
Meets Survivor. Meets The Amazing Race. Meets Girl Interrupted. What's to do?
I don't remember what that movie is about. I just remember Angelina Jolie's. Is she in rehab?
I remember I used to watch it because Homegirl was so skinny because she had an eating disorder.
It was your
Thinspo.
Thinspo.
Anyways, what were we talking about? Ghosts, tornadoes.
Fix your hair.
I'm gonna move my pillow and I will sink back down.
Yeah, and your eye level, which is lovely.
But
for once.
It's like sitting on a recliner that's always reclined. I'm just
get comfortable. You know, at this point, it is what it is.
I'm gonna sink.
There she goes again. Climbing up high, she's higher than
it's
she's
almost like
ever been.
Did you make that up?
Yeah.
That was good. That was really good.
Thanks.
You want to know why? It's because for sensory issues, I need my arm to be able to rest on here without feeling like I have to elevate it. We also talked about sensory issues and
all the reasons why we feel that why we've self-diagnosed ourselves as autistic. Should we talk about that first?
Yeah.
Okay. So
to circle back around.
Another reason. So first of all, whenever I learned what masking was, I don't even know if you fully had come to this realization. Thank you to TikTok, especially during COVID era. I got on autism TikTok. And it was all of these people that were just talking about how they're autistic. And all of the people that weren't autistic were like, wait, other people feel like this?
Right.
I'm not
like,
alone.
What's normal?
There's literally something called spoon talk. And
right.
it's
you
where
need
people,
it's
because it has to be the perfect size. So they'll post one that's like, you can tell it's super heavy, overstimulating, a big spoon versus like a little fine, tiny, nice spoon.
I always, whenever I eat, I can't use the normal size forks. I can't use the normal size spoons. I want the dessert spoon,
little
which
tiny
is small.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's autism.
Yeah.
But so masking, essentially, how we are with each other when we watch us back and we're like, watch how we interact. We don't think about it. We match each other's vibe perfectly, but sometimes it's like I'm the old husband holding the newspaper and sometimes it's you. It's like very pure interaction that happens. Whereas with everyone else, why we leave feeling so exhausted is because we're having to mask. It's wearing a mask to fit the expectation of what society has deemed as normal.
The fact that we can go from our normal selves and mask where they can't do the same thing. They can't meet us on our level. It's almost like more intelligent. Maybe
no, it is. So they've framed autism as being this like terrible, horrible thing. But in reality, I mean, we know from movies, Rain Man and Good Will Hunting, autistic people are the smartest people that exist.
Yeah.
When I watch us, we don't mask at all. We completely match each other's vibe. We also have noticed we don't ever make eye contact with other people. We watch each other back and we're like, we do not break eye contact.
Yeah.
But anyone else, I'm not like that. And I don't even think about it.
Literally, I don't either. Wow.
It's almost like because we're protective of our energy in that way. Because I feel like sometimes if you make eye contact with people, I don't know.
They say eyes are the window to the soul. Yeah. So you literally are like sharing
protecting us, and we didn't even know it. Yeah. Anyone on the spectrum at all has essentially like trained themselves to assimilate to what society deems as normal behavior.
Yeah.
All of the comments are people saying, all of my family, all of my friends think I'm so fucking weird because I get overstimulated if the spoon is too big. We all found each other and then it became more normalized and now it's being weaponized against us. Literally saying everything causes autism, and everyone on TikTok is like, cool, we're like the fun people. Like,
right.
Then why are you weaponizing it? They're making everyone think like, vaccines cause autism.
Right. But I think that they're like referring to like severe autism, like non-functional.
No, that's what they've looped all of autism into be. Because the reality is like majority of people that are autistic are not non-functional. Most autistic people are very high functioning. And there's a whole spectrum too. You're not nonverbal and like incapable if you have autism. You could be on a scale of 1 to 10.
Right.
Like we're probably like a 5.
Right.
I would love to know what we really are.
I know.
I wonder if we would be like the same amount of autistic. I feel like we would be.
I feel like we would be too.
Because we also
like,
both get overstimulated in the same ways. If it's like the wrong sound, airflow, I have to have plush everywhere.
I will not go
I can't
anywhere.
How velvet or silk feels. It's another thing.
I won't go anywhere without a water bottle. Like I will not. I'm afraid of not having access to water.
When I was in an office, I always wanted to have a cup, but that was because I didn't want anyone to touch me. That's another thing.
I remember
so
that.
I would literally walk around the office with a mug in one hand and my phone in the other. I hate shaking hands. It makes me like literally like,
see, I love shaking hands.
Like I hate it so much. And like, especially whenever they grab your hand and they do, give me your hand. Because I don't care. Like, I don't even like shaking your hand. But like whenever they do
why?
this.
It's just a hand.
Oh my God. It's like hand jail.
I think it's comforting.
I hate it. That's why COVID was my favorite. Like,
I think that's comforting.
I love that nobody.
It's with intention.
I love that nobody could touch my hands.
I remember that is one of the major takeaways of COVID that I remember you saying.
I was so happy about it. Yep. And like that you had to stay 6 feet away from me.
We have never actually unpacked with chat your hand thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just like I have to eat a Quest bar every day.
Yeah, literally every day.
I have
And I can't eat them because we ate them for so long.
I have eaten a Quest bar every single day with an exception of maybe in 13 years, maybe 30 days.
That would be
13 years.
That would be a big number if that's true.
Yeah.
I do not know her without a Quest bar handy.
Yeah. And
I
pack, I literally will pay extra to check a bag, even if it's overweight, to pack my Quest bars.
You know you can just put your Quest bars in your purse.
Well, I started doing that later. It was when Bo and I went to Mexico and I was trying to pack like 2 boxes of Quest bars because we were going to be there for 2 weeks. Like at work, I remember they would bring food and that would throw me off because the food looked so good. But I was like, no, I have to eat my Quest bar first. The Quest bar is the start of my day. And we calculated how much I've spent on Quest bars.
Yeah, Quest bar literally. I will insert a picture. Pretend like you're holding a Quest bar. I'll try to put a picture. Sponsor us, Quest bar.
Maybe they can pull in my receipts.
She's spent like literally.
It was like $10,000.
I think it was like $16,000.
Yeah, on Quest bars
literally,
for the last 13 years.
If that doesn't earn a sponsorship, I don't know.
But then also to continue that, the hyperfixation of like, I knew what I was going to eat every night for dinner. Even dates would throw me off. I remember going on a date would throw me off because I couldn't eat what I've been eating for the last 3 weeks.
We know it's an OCD hyperfixation thing, but I think that also, if you always have a Quest bar, you're never going to be hungry. You don't have to eat a whole meal. You don't have to go make a meal. Like, that if you have one, you're safe. And I wonder how that circles back into you being a kid and being starving.
Right, yeah.
Because I just wonder if there's a connection to little Felicia.
And that makes sense. I tell people all the time at work, and we kind of talk about it and joke about it because it is kind of funny, but also not. Even when I was active in my eating disorder, anytime there was treats available, I had to have possession of one, but I wouldn't eat it. Like, I just needed to know that I could if I wanted to.
One time, multiple times. The thing is, what I've accepted is I'm going to wake up the next day and all of my sweet treats will be gone. And probably my chips. Probably.
That's why you have to hide them.
But it's just what I've accepted. Last night.
I told you I wanted.
I know.
I tried to save you. I tried to warn you.
I still don't know if I have any Ben & Jerry's left. I had 2 pints of Ben & Jerry's. I told her.
Keep in mind, I warned her.
I tried to order them.
I said, order these keto ice cream bars.
I tried to order them, and
I missed the message where she said she couldn't get them. But I said, if I don't have that, I will eat all of your ice cream.
Because before I had the teeny tiny little mini drums, and she literally the last time she was here came over to the couch with like 7 in her hands, like
they're tiny
within her fingers like this.
Literally, sugar is like
but I've accepted
heroin.
But last night after you ate their ice cream, you said, "I wish I had more ice cream," and I said, "Ha, isn't that funny?" And then you just looked at me like, because you wanted to eat the rest. And you probably did in the night, didn't you? Did you eat more ice cream?
No. I don't
know. So to get back at me in her high and drunk mind, she went over to my crumble cookie box that had 1 piece left. 1 piece. And I had split the other cookie, and I was going to split the last of that cookie. And I watched you open the box, and you looked at the box. She didn't even break it in half.
Keep in mind, this started when you gave me the bite of crumble. And I said,
it's my fault.
No, it's not your fault. But what I'm saying is, I not warn you? I said, as soon as I have a bite of sugar.
Then give it back. And you said,
because you handed heroin to a heroin addict. You literally, and I said that.
I know.
You're giving drugs to a drug addict.
When she gets here, she's like, "How do you still have cookies on your counter?"
It's like
literally you turned into the cookie monster.
It's a real thing.
But anyway, she opened the crumble box, and I watched her look at it and literally make a decision to grab the whole piece. She didn't break it in half. And then she didn't even put it up to her mouth because she thought I didn't see. And I said, "I know you didn't just take my crumble cookie." And you go, huh. Well, and then you went and put the whole thing back. You didn't even take any of it. And then
that's disappointing.
Because I caught you.
Self-control, though.
No, you were mad that you got caught, and you knew because I talked to you in my mom voice. Like,
the fact
we woke up when the sun was coming up.
Sugar is great.
You didn't turn it down. You just got caught stealing it, and you were already you were concocting your next plan, and then we fell asleep. So when I went to bed, I grabbed the cookie, and I was like, "She's not gonna eat any of it." And I ate the whole thing at 6 a.m.
It wasn't even that much of a cookie.
Yeah, but it was the last bite. But it really is wild, though. Like, I want to understand the science of how that
addiction.
No, I know, but how being born on heroin, meth, probably everything.
It spikes
but like, I want to know the science.
Serotonin levels or dopamine. What's serotonin?
I always get really confused with the brain names.
It spikes your dopamine. No. I don't know, but literally sugar makes me high in the best way. It really does. And that's why I sleep so good on nights where I pass out and sleep through the entire night.
Like the other night, whenever she said, "Oh no, I have a whole bag of Reese's cups. This isn't going to end well."
Exactly. And I will purposefully sometimes sugar crash out because I know that that's when I'll finally sleep. I wonder why that is. I sleep better during a sugar crash.
Probably because that's your body's like natural state. If you
also,
were
we need to
born
talk about the
on
fact
it.
that I take I was taking 40 milligrams of melatonin on accident.
Yeah, she didn't know.
400 milligrams of magnesium and drinking NyQuil, and I still could not sleep. With ADHD, though, too, naturally.
I'm so paranoid that it's not recording.
An epiphany I'm having. And of course, we have to check the recording. No, I agree. I always get so excited about getting a new text message, and then it's Fashion Nova or Verizon Wireless telling me to pay my bill.
Ow, motherfucker, I just stepped on a cork. Remember whenever you had to take all the corks and write the dates on them, and then I just broke my foot on one?
So I had been on Adderall as a kid, Ritalin. So I was taking both. It was like an upper and a downer.
Yeah. Whenever we
I'm psycho.
Whenever we dive into
literally
her adoption
bored on
paperwork,
drugs, put on drugs.
Like, it is fucking wild to see all the medication.
No wonder like things don't affect me like they affect other people.
Well, yeah. I mean, they were just like pumping you full of stimulants.
Yeah.
Also, you were in foster care. There wasn't a lot of like money to support your health or science back then to be able to.
Back in the old days, before computers. I had been off of Adderall after.
Why are you not drinking your champagne?
Because I'm talking.
I just don't like
an epiphany, and here she is. We need to keep score every time.
I just don't want to be drinking champagne by myself, and I feel lonely.
It.
And you're not drinking with me. Cheers to autism.
What was I talking about? drugs. Once COVID hit, I couldn't go to Dr. Alicia anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I was off Adderall. John was buying it for like $1,000 a pop.
Or so he said.
He was buying it for a shit ton of money. Not a pop. That you get what I'm saying. Anyways, because he was taking it.
But he also made it seem like he was spending way more money on everything than he was. Remember that the one random ugly jewelry he bought that he made you think was so expensive? We looked it up. It was like $60.
He spent money so recklessly. We had probably $20,000 worth of fish tanks in the garage.
Also, that's so awful.
It was.
I just imagine how I feel when I walk into PetSmart.
He would let them die.
They were
and he would go down
fish,
there.
Weren't they, too?
Yes.
Like tropical.
Yes. If you look up how much one of those giant fish tanks are, they're probably about $500.
Well, they're also really expensive.
And he had 10 of them
Aren't they?
in the garage. Yes, everything is expensive. I saw his W-2. I knew how much money he was making. He spent money on the most random bullshit. What a disgusting human. Anyways, back to
And he ruined her credit because he convinced her to take the loan out for his truck, even though he made literally like what,
he made $350,000 a year. He told me
you were making $12 an hour plus commission.
I think that year I made $50,000, but I had perfect credit. He told me that he had outstanding parking tickets that ruined his credit. And again, I look back on all of this and I'm like, Felicia, what the fuck were you thinking?
She was very, very, very manipulated.
Brainwashed. That we'll talk
What's
about
that movie that Evan Rachel Wood and Marilyn Manson? If you want to watch that before the John episode, because that'll give you a good idea of where Felicia was at.
Yeah. But yeah, I took out that loan and he stopped making payments without telling me and
ruined your credit.
And then you did a background check on him and found out he had an apartment that that's a whole
I
nother
forgot
story.
about that.
Yeah.
I blocked that out.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah. Didn't we find out something else too? I feel like there was like two big things that we were like, what?
Well, my family later told me that because we used to do FaceTime calls with my grandparents and my sister and my dad because they were all over. Apparently, John told them that he used to train horses or that he had been to other countries. But my grandpa, when he was here a few months ago, he brought that up because he was like, John's an asshole. He told us that he used to literally go to other countries and trade horses. Like that was a thing. And my mom and sister being like, he literally said that word for word.
He's fucking psycho.
Literally.
Should we unpack that?
Yeah.
Only problem is,
do we have enough room on that?
I don't know if we have enough room. I would hate to start unpacking that and not have enough room.
I know, but we're in the vibe. I feel like if we try to force it. Well, spirits be with us. God be with us. Let this episode continue filming with listening to Taylor Swift songs. That got us talking about relationships that we've been in and how Taylor sings about narcissists, but then there was one song that seemed like it was singing about somebody that's like kind of psychotic.
Yeah. So we started talking about John. And by John, we mean John Doe. No one specific.
John Doe.
No one that could ever be named John. It's obviously we're talking about John Doe, a mysterious figure. So we can't be sued for anything because we're talking about John Doe.
Yep.
Therefore, from now on, I will not be bleeping out any Johns because we're talking about John Doe.
And everything that we say about John Doe is 100% factual.
Mm-hmm.
We're not saying any of this for dramatic effect. What happened literally could be a movie.
Yeah. But we're not going to refer to him throughout the rest of this as John Doe. We're just going to refer to him as John. But when we say John, we're referring to John Doe, a mysterious person that isn't named John, or is he? We don't know.
I love
Cheers.
you so much. I love that you know so much about this. I love her. Ow.
That's also why whenever I played Dear John.
Can you pull that off?
Whenever I played Dear John.
Ow.
Oh.
How it dented my vein.
Yeah,
they
I know.
Couldn't breathe.
It's the same way though. Sometimes I'll be wearing a hair tie and like forget, but it hits me all of a sudden. It's like, ah! I was surprised I could even wear an Apple Watch. We were having our Taylor Swift conversation. You become a Taylor fan whenever you need her. It's true. It all ties.
Wait, does she
back.
have a song called John Doe?
She has a song literally called Dear John that we listened to.
We did listen to it?
Hmm.
Dear John.
Anyway, but the thing is, you weren't ready to hear it, so you weren't absorbing the lyrics. Whenever
your knee felt very
whenever
comfortable
it's
there.
on your
Leave it.
I know, I liked it too. I was just
afloat right
I
now.
was just
'cause my ass
readjusting.
is
It's also
sinking.
we're like giving each other energy. Whenever we start talking about people that have affected us or a narcissist in general, John Doe is obviously at the top of the list.
Yeah, let's start from the beginning.
Company A, I worked at. Felicia moved back. I got her job there. Then I left Company A and went to Company B.
No, you got fired from Company A illegally.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right.
That was also a company I was sleeping with my boss.
Yeah, that I was illegally fired by the VP.
Yep.
He was just waiting to get rid of me. I went to Company B, that we will now refer to as work. I got Felicia a job there after I had worked there for a while. It took you a little while to come over, but I remember walking in my first day. It was a small office, and I walked in, walked around, and I walked past a door. I have never had more of a physical reaction to anyone.
When you hear this, you can relate it back to whatever episode we talked about.
Yeah.
The VP, where
Yep.
you said the same thing, but it was dismissed.
Yeah.
And then when you felt it this time, it was dismissed again.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
But also with the VP,
It was on a different level.
I didn't feel good about him. But it literally felt like when I walked past that door, I felt darkness come over me. And I turned around and I made eye contact with John. Everything in me was like, he is dangerous.
Yeah.
I gathered as much information as I could as far as like who he was, whatever, but I never really had any interaction with him. You came over. This is again whenever we're like in the heat of our healing. We feel really powerful. We're not afraid to share our stories.
I had broken up with somebody that was so kind to me because I knew I deserved better. Yeah, I felt like a healed woman at that point.
Yeah, at that company, there was trauma that was weaponized against people where the CEO used his traumatic story to kind of like reel in people. So it was like, listen to all of these things that I've overcome and I've made this environment for you. And
but I'm going to make millions off of you.
And we were making $12 an hour plus commission, with a commission structure that changed all the time based on where they wanted to hang the carrot. It was emotionally taxing. It was essentially like it was people that had gotten into a really bad financial situation, and we were talking to them like elderly people, veterans. I mean, people that were truly, truly like their entire financial life was being ruined by this choice that they had been sucked into.
You told me it felt like a family. Told me it felt like a family.
And that's what I
thought. So they take trauma and they turn it into like, we're all broken people working here. We're all traumatized. You're welcome here.
And because they knew that people that would be attracted to that were people that were broken.
Yeah.
Because it was people who didn't have families or people who were super traumatized. Because now if I hear the word family mentioned at work, that is a fucking red flag. I am not, you're not supposed to be my family.
No.
But we didn't know that. She comes over. I am bought into the lie, to the family, to the trauma bond.
And a lot of families worked there. A lot of father, sons, a lot of husband, wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The CEO was like,
That's what he was like.
He, every day.
That describes him perfectly.
Like, I remember when we moved to a new office and he stood behind a fucking trash can and he gave this powerful speech. And I sent him an email after and told him how grateful I was.
And I remember you telling me about that.
Because I was so bought in and I was like, and he's
No, it felt like he literally had a savior complex. And that's why
Were you there during the trash can speech or after?
No, you told me.
But I think it was not long after that you came over.
We had gone from a company bleep where we thought we were living our purpose, and then we figured out it was a fucking scam. And then we go to company bleep where we're like, this is it. This is where we get to actually live our purpose and help people.
And also, I was like, at least now it's not life or death.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I was like, at least this is awful, and I hate hearing people sad, and I
See, I
hate
never
their
thought
lives are
about it that
ruined.
way, though.
Oh, I did. Because I thought, well, we're still getting to help people, but at least we know that people aren't going to die.
Yeah.
No,
that makes sense. I think I was so disassociated to death at that point.
Probably.
They created this space where you felt safe sharing your story. So I wrote the email to the CEO. I was told to CC John Doe. So I did. I had started talking to Ranny.
Yeah.
And we
No
had
one
been
can
on some
crack that.
dates, and he was best friends with the CEO's son.
Right. Who also worked there.
Yes. It was fun. I had just broken up with Ricotta.
The nice
I had
guy.
just broken up with the nice guy and just having fun. So it was shortly after I sent the email that John Doe started sending me gifts of like really nice wine I liked.
I forgot about
and,
that. He
and
sent
John,
Ranny expensive whiskey too to fuck with him.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did. Yep.
I forgot
And then
about
he
that.
fired him.
Yeah.
And then he fired him. He was trying to disconnect me from a guy that I was talking to in the office. He ended up firing him. And then he was slowly trying to disconnect me from Andrea. And how he did that was he promoted me to a position that I had no right to be in. And with that position came getting to go to Vegas.
He wanted her to go to Vegas because he wanted to be able to isolate her.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. He literally took that email, started wooing me, fired somebody.
Grooming.
Grooming.
Like truly it was grooming. It was literally like watching a pedophile groom a child.
And then he promoted me when I had no right to be promoted. There were other people in that position that didn't get to go to Vegas, and I did. And that's where.
And no offense, but they had better stats than you.
No, I know.
And
that's
been
what I'm
there
saying.
longer.
I just said I had no right to be promoted. I know that was a grooming method. He was like, I'm going to make her feel important and special so that I would look at him with a God complex.
And at this point, I knew what was happening. I told you all along, like, about how I felt about John.
I know, yeah.
And I would walk past the office, and there was a tiny glass sliver in the door. And I would see Felicia sitting in there, and it was the same fawning that I saw with the VP,
right? But
on a different level. It was like looking at a child.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened fast. Yeah, because very fast. Then you came over to my cubicle, you sat and you said, you're going to get to go to Vegas. And
I remember telling my therapist, I was in a therapy session, and I remember I don't remember a lot of what we talked about. I remember telling her, I'm working a job. This is before he and I were dating. I'm in a job now where I feel like I'm not being objectified. This person in power is looking at me because of what
I remember you telling me
what
that
I'm good at and what I can do.
Nope.
Isn't that fucking wild? Like I looked back even in that time at the whole VP situation thinking I was objectified. And then here I am being objectified to its max capacity.
And everybody saw it but you.
And yet I'm saying, I finally feel like I'm not being objectified. Yeah. That's the fucking power of a fucking psychopath, man.
But, and I remember when you were in Vegas, and I knew exactly when it happened because of how you shifted in texting, and you still didn't tell me. I asked you over and over and over when you were in Vegas, and I knew exactly what was going to happen. I knew that's why he wanted you there. I knew it. You were texting me weird. You didn't respond. Then you were texting me weird.
Right.
And you didn't admit it until you got back and we went to Marg's. And I will never forget the way that you said it. I was naked and walking around, and he wouldn't have sex with me. That's how much he's not objectifying me. Like, he really is a good guy. And he's just like, he's just as damaged and hurt. And like he never even had a birthday cake. And then I remember literally looking at you and being like,
oh my God,
my only choice right now is to support you. We've been through ex-husband. We've been through all of this. Like, all I have to do is just figure out how to get you through this, and we'll be okay. I just have to get you through this. And little did I fucking know. You went to Vegas in it was the end of September or early October.
Mm-hmm.
Before Halloween, he had completely separated us.
Yep.
Do you want to tell how it happened in Vegas? Because that's where he ultimately like had control of you. He was grooming you up to that point.
Yeah. So here's where it's a mind fuck, because we've never even talked about this.
I don't think if we have, I've blocked it out, to be honest.
We haven't. Because I don't think I ever would have told the true story. Can we make sure that we have?
Yeah. Yeah. I was literally thinking the same thing. Can you see it in my eyes?
Yes.
Dear platonic soulmate, there need to be more fairy tales about soulmate friends like us, where they find each other and everything just makes more sense after, where they meet and immediately know that they were meant to know each other. There need to be more love stories about platonic friends who found each other at just the right time. And they're not complex or grandiose storylines. They meet and they know. They meet on playgrounds and in school and at work and at bars and at the gym. And they talk on the phone and trust each other and truly don't know how they would have gotten through some of the hard parts without having the other there with them. More fairy tales about soulmate friends like us, and there would be montages of laughter and tears and confusion and too much wine, and it wouldn't be unattainable or unbelievable. It would just make sense and fill you with gratitude while you watch.